Hey traders, Akil Stokes here of Trade Empowered, and as always, welcome to this week's live room weekend review. I'm enjoying a beautiful Friday. Just wrapped up a great day of trading. The weather's nice. I've got a big weekend planned, so pretty excited about pumping this video up to you. Now, last week I spent a lot of time talking. This time, not going to do so much. Going to try and keep it short and then just show you guys a lot of analysis. But as the title of this weekend review goes, the overall theme or topic is about second chances, and that's what we saw in the market. We started off the week with some very good Gartley and bat patterns that Jason brought up in the Forex market preview. And he also brought up some pretty good 26-18 trades. I think we had one on both Aussie and New Zealand dollar that, with the help of Bernanke, rolled over pretty big. I know I got a lot of nice emails from a lot of traders that happened to catch those moves, and those could be the ones that made their month. But also, if you're a member of the syndicate and you watch the videos I put out earlier in the week, or even if you've just been paying attention to any of the yen crosses, you've noticed that not only have we had advanced patterns, but we've also had a lot of double tops at those advanced patterns, or close to in the case of euro. And even 26-18. So it's one of those weeks where the market has given you a chance to get involved. If you missed it the first time and kept paying attention, it gave you another chance. And if you missed it one more time, it even gave you a third chance in the form of a 26-18. And I'm going to go ahead and walk through one of the trades I had this week on dollar yen and show you guys how I get involved. But first, I'm going to flash you back to the basic analysis I did in this week's syndicate video for that pair before I show you how I was able to trade it. See, I'm going to get an ABCD pattern completion about 95.53. If I go ahead and start putting some fibs in there, fib extension, swing high to swing low, boom, you'll see a 127 at 95.56. If I take an inversion from this inside leg, swing low to swing high backwards, I'm going to get about the same thing. I put a 1414 in there. And you see I can just build a big cluster of Fibonacci's in this area. If I take swing high to swing low here, you're going to see my 886 comes right into that zone as well. We already have a 618 from this bigger move right here sitting at 95.77. And if I take a Fibonacci from this even bigger move, I'm going to get a 382 sitting there, it looks like. Yeah. 382. So there's a big cluster of Fibonacci's sitting from this 382 from the bigger move, which is 95.86, all the way to the 127 of this smaller move, and a little lower for the ABCD pattern. So we have an ABCD pattern, a 127 extension, a 1414 inversion, an 886 retracement, a 618 retracement, and a 382 retracement. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fibs in an ABCD pattern right in this level. What I'll do here is I'll go down to a lower time frame inside this zone right here, maybe on a 15-minute chart for my day trading, 15 or 5, and pay attention to this area and look for a shorting opportunity here as well. So I'm watching the under 20 World Cup, U.S. versus Spain right now. We're just getting destroyed. Not only is it 3-0 Spain, but now we got players injured, and well, at least our regular national team is doing good for now. But where we left off at dollar yen was right here. We talked about this Fibonacci cluster right around this area. You can see I still have the box drawn on my charts. And here's what actually happened. During the day, if I go down to a 15-minute chart, during the day we came to that level. I was actually involved in the live room at the time, so I actually missed the trade when it came up here. You can see it came up, it double topped. This is around 9:15 in the morning, 10:45. So I was in the live room, and because the dollar yen isn't one of the pairs I normally watch, I just had other things I needed to pay attention to. After I was done, I did kind of my post intraday market analysis. I noticed the double top here. I said, "Darn it, Akil! You just did spent time doing a video predicting this level, telling traders to watch this level. We may get a turnaround, and you're sitting here and you missed the trade. Not only did you miss the trade, but you missed the retest of the trade." So I'm thinking this trade is, it's lost, it's over with. There's nothing I can do about it. Just move on to the next one. Slap myself on the wrist a little bit. And I noticed later in the day that we actually get another chance at this trade in the form of a bat pattern. Now it's a little small, but you can see if we look at our, and I forgot if I drew from this leg or this leg. Doesn't matter. If we look at our X to A to B, B to C, and C to D, you'll see that we put a bat pattern right up here later in the day. And this gave me the third opportunity. It's a bat pattern slash 2618 trade as well because we do break the double bottom and then come back up to retest. So a bat pattern slash 2618 trade giving me one last opportunity to get involved in this market. And well, this time I didn't miss it. I got involved at the bat. I took first targets as a normal bat pattern completion and took some extended targets on the rest of it, looking at, again, the bigger picture. And you can see this market roll down, hit the 127 inversion. If I take a Fibonacci inversion from swing high to swing low down here, hit the 127 and made for a pretty good trade. Now later on in the week, as a trader mentioned to me on Twitter, our Gartley pattern did get stopped out. We had a cipher pattern too that rolled over pretty nicely. I did take some profits on that, so a pretty good week on yen. So just an example of how you can. There's always opportunity in the markets if you miss the first one. Don't just turn away from the charts. Keep analyzing. Stick to those if then. If the market does this, then I can do that. If it does this, then I can do this. And you may get some second chances. And like I said, euro yen, pound yen, and obviously dollar yen, all gave you those second chances along with Aussie and New Zealand as well. So that's this week's lesson, I guess you can say. What we're going to do now is we're going to flash back to some of the live room sessions. There's a lot on board, so make sure you watch it through, and hopefully you can pick something up that's worthwhile, can help your trading for next week. If we go to range bar chart, kind of walk through what we took today. And the first was actually a bat pattern, which got busted out. We had an X to A to B, B to C, C to D, and took a bat pattern completion right here. You can see we got stopped out almost immediately. This was also during today's big news event as well, so we made sure to write that in our journal about what the news event was and what effect it had in our trading. But after this bat pattern, we didn't get down on ourselves. We stuck right back into it, and we're able to catch a trend continuation trade, meaning we saw our structure highs right here. And if I zoom out, you'll see that we've been in an uptrend here on euro yen. We saw our structure highs right here. We got a break and close above, which tells me or signifies that we should be continuing higher with this trend. And well, we came up. We actually retested, missed these entries a couple times just because of talking in a live room and not being able to pay a lot of attention to the range bar charts, but was able to get involved in the market right around here as the structure level was hit 1-2 for the third time. Entered on a higher high, higher close, and put us through a little bit of pain, spiking down a little bit, but of course, our stops were 2 ATRs away from our entry, so down here at 127.48, and well, eventually this market broke up to the upside just as we expected. That hasn't quite hit target one yet. We need to get down there. But our second trade here was an Aussie dollar. It was a 26.18 trade. We were actually waiting for a bat pattern earlier, but we identified our double bottom down here at structure. We watched the market as it came up, broke our peak here of our double bottom, that is. And when we came back to retest, we waited for an H3C entry and got involved right around 93 or 91, 93, 91, 95s after the spread. Now, an important lesson to the traders, to you traders out there is, well, we did come down. You can see the market put us in some pain. This double bottom held, so we were never, nothing ever told us that this trade was going to fail. However, I did have to adjust my targets. Originally, in order to get my 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio, my target one was up here at a retest of our turnaround point, looking at about 92.30s, and our target twos were up a little higher. But as you can see, as we worked our way down and retraced back up and then extended back down again, we actually set up a cipher pattern completion. Now, I wasn't here to actually participate in this cipher, but what I did was I rolled my targets down after the room and took both targets off at this 786. Because again, I don't want to fight against a pattern that has a really good historical track record. So although we didn't missed out on about another 13 pips or 12 or so pips, you can see it obviously paid off as I was able to at least put about I don't know how much we got here, at least about 20 something pips here in the bank, and times that by 2 positions instead of waiting to be stopped out. Hey traders, Akil here. Just wrapped up Friday's session. As you can tell, I'm pretty excited. We just ended the live room in a fantastic way. Rung the register, hit the applause button, played the light 'em up song that we love so much, and I'm excited about going into the weekend now. We had 3 trades triggered today. Start off on pound dollar. We had a structure-based trade. Let me bring over a range bar chart. Actually, give me a few seconds to load this up. We had a structure-based trade on pound dollar, which ended up getting stopped out. We were at a major and a minor DSR level, up in I can't remember where it's at, up in this level somewhere. And we spiked up a little bit, but got nowhere near our first targets, and we got stopped out on the way down. We were able to roll stops a little bit, so I didn't take as much loss as what our original stops were like. So not a bad trade at all. Get the loser out the way. We'll talk about the winner here. We had Euro Yen. We had a bat pattern here on Euro Yen, which you can see roll down for both targets. We hit target ones right in this area around the 618, and then we had extended targets down here at the 127 extension for target twos. A few traders in the room are actually trailing this even further based on the bigger cipher pattern that we shot out in the syndicate earlier on in the week, looking at Euro Yen 60-minute down here. Cipher pattern slash double top slash 2618, whatever you want to call it. It's rolling down, and we're a part of it. That's all that matters. Lastly, Euro dollar, and this is the one that hit target one right before we closed the room. We took a Fibonacci, trend continuation based trade, and I'll run through it real quickly. I feel like I need to get out of my chair and just do some push-ups or something. I'm pretty pumped. But we identified a structure level right here. You can see it was green, turned to red. As soon as we broke past the structure level, as always, I saw lower low, lower close. I said, this means the trend should be continuing down. What I'm going to look for is a retracement back into that level. So what do? We zoom in the charts right here, and we start predicting our retracement level. Here's the level that stood out for me. This little bump right there seems insignificant right now, but if you look back, it actually lines up at the top of this price action box here and at this structure, this little structure level as well. And again, this just comes from training your eyes over and over again. What do? We identified this level, told the traders if we come up here and get a lower low, lower close, we'll be taking a short. We actually got some more confirmation in the form of this. As we started making our way up, we got a little retracement right in here, which enabled us to bring in a Fibonacci extension. And you're going to see what lined up there. Boom, 127 on the Fib extension. If I take a Fib inversion from this inside leg, swing high to swing low, or swing low to swing high and backwards, boom, we get a 1618 in there as well. And just to add some icing on top of the cake, ABCD pattern right in that level, boom. You can see price action came up, nipped it right here. We got our L3C entry right here, put us through a little bit of pain, but came nowhere near our stops, which were safely up here around 31.85. And we rolled over to hit target ones, which was at a 127 extension of this swing high to this swing low. Or actually, we took a little bit higher. We had a 1618 inversion, a little bit higher than that, right around here at 130.29 with 131.29, which we just hit. So target ones were in the bank, about 30 pips on that target one, about 30 pips on target one. We're still rolling down for target two, just like Euro Yen. Some of our traders are looking at the higher time frame, seeing that we almost had a double bottom here on a 60-minute chart, but we did break and close below it, and that this market can roll down. Now I have a little Fibonacci cluster right here at 3110, so I'm going to keep my target twos the same, but some are going to trail that structure, and if this euro runs, guess what? They're going to be part of it, all off a simple day trade on a 5 range bar chart. So that's why I'm so excited. That's why I'm ready to shut this video off and get outside and do something fun and start my weekend. And I will see you next week. If you didn't already, check out the post I wrote on trading forums. It's called the Trading Forum, Asset or Liability. And as always, traders, plan your trade, trade your plan, make some money. I'll see you Tuesday in the live room.